Sony's wanting to do a God of War live action film or a TV show. I saw this article up on Archive. I don't really want to talk much about it though, because quite frankly, it doesn't deserve it. Because the guy who wrote this, Derek Umberstein, this is a terrible, terrible article. I only want to talk about it real quick because I want to talk about the fact that he mentions repeatedly that Kratos is black. And he says, when you see Kratos, you see the ashes and all that stuff. He's white. So in the brief scene where his skin turns to ash, it is clearly black underneath. No, Kratos is Greek. Now there can be black Greek people. There can be white Greek people. There could be brown Greek people. I mean, just how it is in a lot of places. You know, but he's not like black. You know what I mean? Like, if you've seen the parts, if you've played the game or whatever, you realize he could be black, but he's also could be white. He could very easily, because some people they act like unless the person's skin is like as pale as a wallpaper or an eggshell or whatever, well that person's not white. If they've got the slightest amount of a tan, they have to be brown or black, don't they? Which is just stupid. And this guy, I mean, I don't know if I should even be doing this video, to be quite honest, because this article is so poorly written. It's like I don't know. It makes me think that this guy is almost doing it as a troll, because it's like you seriously can't be. I mean, here's another part. He's like, another interesting question is why is Atreus now white? Again, I do not believe this is ever explained. Blah blah blah. We had the black character in it. Aaron Gaboda and Ragnarok. Unlike Atreus, she's not a protagonist. This may be the same reason Kratos maintains his unambiguous ashy skin, despite the fact that he cannot literally be covered in his family's ashes as long as the story is to be written. Then he goes on to say that the character can't be walking around in ashes in his everyday life. It's like, yeah, he can. He's Kratos. He didn't have an everyday life, chopping wood and shit and all that stuff. But anyway, then he goes on to talk about. He goes on some spiel about, oh, Margot Robbie read for the part and she was the best. It's called Goddess of War. And then he says, then he talks about Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch, and he says Thomas Jefferson was a white late racist slave owner. I'm assuming he's talking about this in Hamilton, but it's not mentioned anywhere. He is rapped and speaks in an AAV Creole. It's a deliberate statement on how white America steals and repurposes the black population and violently subjugates. Whatever. But it's just. Then he goes on, and he mentions that Christopher Judge is the voice of Kratos. And he says given that Judge has spoken openly and emotionally about how much of his own personal experience as a black father was invested into what we normally agree to be the most nuanced Kratos yet, you should say it pretty crucial. It's pretty crucial, but okay. Then he goes on to say, oh, maybe Dwayne Johnson should play the role. He'd be the best. He's lighter skinned than Carlson and Judge, and therefore may be seen as more marketable. Which I didn't see that Carlson. Who the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, then he says that he would rather send Winston Duke to the gym and see if he returns beefy enough, but he ticks all the boxes. He is the black guy Kratos, who canonically be a Nazi. I have no idea what the hell that's supposed to mean. But he's also one of the few black actors. It might just be Kratos instead of dealing with the controversy of being black Kratos. He also has a big pull factor, has experience, and is in excellent health. If Sony, and then it ends, and it says, women are able to be warriors and men are able to be mages. I have no idea what this guy was saying. I don't know if he had a stroke when he was writing this shit at the end. But, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, because quite frankly, I'm questioning whether I should be even making this damn video. Because, it's like, I don't understand what the hell this guy's talking about. Kratos is not a black man. He is Greek. He is not, like, super dark-skinned. It's like, so that, and it doesn't make him black just because he's got the slightest bit of color to him. Anyway, I'll wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.